Good day, lads. Today we'll be talking about the Dutch-American Revolution. The Dutch-American Revolution differs greatly from the French-American Revolution in that your main unit will be the militia unit, whereas with the French, the focus is much more on the cowboy. However, with the Dutch, they already have their one-pop dragoon, and the Dutch rider, while statistically almost identical to the cowboy, has the benefit of costing much more gold than food, which is optimized perfectly for the Dutch economy. The French are a cavalry civilization and they benefit from the cowboy. The Dutch, they're a bit different. Let's see what they benefit from. In the early game as a Dutch player, you're going to be pressured a lot, which is why you're going to need the militia unit. This need goes down as you advance in ages, but as a Dutch player with all those vulnerable banks and all those vulnerable factories, you're still going to want a panic button. And the US Revolution gives you that panic button. Of course, it gives you a bit more than that though, so let's have a look at the cards. First up, you got your 4 Gatling guns, great for dealing with infantry swarms. You have your 2 ironclads for water. You have your infinite use fort card, very important for the Americans. You have your citizenship card, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can train citizens for 70 gold each. Then you have your cattle drivers, which is an infinite one. And then you have your cowboys card, which will send you the cowboys and the cows. You also have your volunteers card, which gives you 4 skirmishers. You have your Native American allies, and most importantly, you have the conscription card, which is what you need as the Dutch. What makes a great revolution? Often, revolutions will play towards the inherent strength of a civilization, or they'll give them a new capability that they didn't have before that makes the revolution worthwhile. The American Revolution does both for the Dutch. The Dutch already have great skirmishers, but they often go against infantry heavy civs, like, say, the British or the Ottomans, and sometimes you just need that bit of extra muscle. Besides the excellent conscription card, which means they can send Minutemen from the fort, and you don't have to worry about them losing HP now, as the American civilization, you can also send a card that will give you 4 sharpshooters for every fort that you have. Now, if you're like me and you've been dotting forts along every trade route, because trade routes are important as the Dutch, then you're going to get a lot of sharpshooters from that card. And on top of that, as I've mentioned multiple times, you have that panic button. Your fort is coming down, maybe you only have a few cav to clear the cannon, but there's still going to be enough infantry to siege down the fort. Boom, send out the Minutemen. That will stabilize the area and buy you time to send your forces in to reinforce. But before you send out that wave of militia, there are 2 things you have to do. First off, you need to send out your town militia card to let you send more militia, and you also need to send out your stonemasons card to build walls around all the new forts that you're going to have. Now that we've covered the main points, let's go over the units that you're getting with your Native Allies card. You have the Cheyenne Rider, good against cav, also good against artillery. You have the Comanche Horse Archer, a horse archer that's good against other cavalry. They're just like a pot-free Reuter. Then you have the Sharptooth Bowman, short range, high damage skirmisher, also pop free, and also the elite Klamath Rifleman, another pop free skirmisher. So by now you're probably noticing the pattern. The American Revolution just takes the Dutch, everything the Dutch do right, and it makes it even better. You like your Reuters for anti-cav duty? How would you like to have some extra anti-cav that costs 0 pop on top of that? You want militia for defense? We got you covered. You want even more skirmishers on top of that? How would you like 4 sharpshooters for every fort? The Dutch American Revolution is more Dutch than the Dutch. Try it out, have fun.